Hello everyone and welcome back to Mrs. Ritchie Crochets. Today I'm going to show you how to make a stocking hat. I am using the yarn Wool Ease. It is a size 6, so you need a size 8 hook, which is what I have here. It's called Red Beacon. I think it's beautiful. It reminds me of candy canes. So first you need to find your tail and you're going to loop that over your hook. You're going to turn your yarn around, just creating a little loop, and hold it in your dominant hand, your hook hand. We're creating a slip knot. You're going to yarn over, grab that knot, and pull through. Your hook hand should only hold your hook in it. Your non-dominant hand should hold your yarn. Your pointer finger should have the yarn wrapped around it. It should be pointing out to give you a nice, tense place to work from. And then your middle finger and your thumb should be right underneath your hook, holding the stuff that you've already done. We're going to start off with a chain. So we're going to yarn over, just wrapping our yarn around the hook. We're going to pull through. And we're going to continue doing this, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through. And as I'm doing that, I'm twisting my hook down so I can come through nice and easily. I'm going to make an adult medium sized hat, and I'm going to insert the size guide in right now. So with that size guide, it's saying that it needs to be 9 inches. And I have my ruler here right now. So that looks to be about 9 inches. Let's check. Ooh, on the money. Look at me go. Perfect. Okay, that's 9 inches. So I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to chain 2 more. Just yarning over and pulling through 2 times. And the 3rd stitch from my hook. 1, 2, 3, because I just made those 2. I'm going to go into that one. We're going to do what is called a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into that chain, just in that chain, yarning over again, pulling up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. It'll leave 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 more. So I'm going to keep doing this all the way down, yarning over, inserting into that hook, drawing up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into that next loop, draw up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You know where you've been, because if I'm pulling my stitches apart, this one, I can see my 2 loops that I created from that last stitch. So I know that I'm going to go into this one next. And this chunky yarn makes going into my stitches super easy. So I'm going to continue with this pattern of 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the end, and we're going to do something a little different. Okay, I have 5 stitches left, and I need to make this side shorter than this side. This is pretty thick, and this is going to be my hat. It's going to be going on my head like this. I'll curl up this part. This part up here will be at the top of my head. So I need to make it thinner so it's not super bulky at the top of my head. So what I'm going to do for that is to slowly make my stitches smaller. And I'm going to do a half double crochet, which is not a hard stitch. So yarning over just like we do for the double crochet, drawing up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, and we're just going to yarn over and pull through everything. And then I'm going to pull that a little tighter. So again, I'm going to do that one more. Yarn over, insert through our hook, just like our regular double crochets, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through everything. And I'm pulling tighter. I'm going to do a single crochet, no yarning over, insert our hook, drop a loop, 2 loops on our hook, pull through 2 loops, and then I'm going to finish off with 2 slip stitches. So yarn over, pull through everything, insert into that hook, into that stitch, draw up a loop, pull through everything. So now you can see we have, like, pull this out, a big thick band, and then it up top is going to get really small. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work going into this next one. If you want yours to have ribbing in it, which I think I do want mine to have ribbing in it, I like the way that looks. So I'm just going to go through the back loop. If you're looking at this and you watch ahead and you see what this finished project looks like and you don't want ribbing in it, you're going to go through both loops, like the whole like fishtail braid on your hook. I'm just going to go through the back. So I chained one. Now I'm going to do 2 slip stitches. So 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitch, doing that pattern but in reverse. And then 1 single crochet, yarning over, pulling through, and then 2 double crochet. So yarning over, inserting into that back loop, drawing up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, pulling through everything, yarning over, inserting into that hook, drawing up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, pull through everything. I love to see the variegated yarn come into color. Okay, now we got those 5 weird stitches done. We're continuing on with our same old, just going into that back stitch. So double crochets, yarning over, insert into the hook, draw up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Just into that back loop. You should only have 1 loop on your hook, not 2, unless you want to do it that way. Whatever you're doing, just be consistent. Both ways look great. I use both ways for different projects, but this one, I wanted the ribbed look. So I'm just going into that back loop, and I'm going to finish this off, come to the end, and then I'll meet you back down there. Okay, so here we are at the end, and this stitch right here was our turning stitch. I know that because I can feel like the chain, it's coming apart at the end, and it also just looks very curved right here, but this stitch stands really tall. So we just have 1 more stitch to go into. So doing a last double crochet, and this looks pretty even, straight to me. If I'm gonna go into that next one and show you what it'll look like. And now we have this curve, like we're starting to build up, and we don't want to do that. So we're just gonna frog that, just take it out. So this is our bottom end. This is the end that's going to be like touching your head with the hat. This is the top of the hat. We have our thick end and our thin end. So to do this end, we are just going to do 2 chains. That'll count as our first double crochet. So we're not going into that first stitch right here. It's kind of hard to see because of all the different colors. Looks like a big peppermint. But this is our first chain. You can see like from the side. We're going to go into the second one because this one counts as our first double crochet. And we're going into that back loop because we're being consistent. You can see already what that looks like, the ribbing, how it has like a bump in between each color in each row. It's going to create that bump on this side too, between the peppermints. So again, just doing double crochets all the way down. That's how we turn. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize there was a little off camera there. That's how we turn. Just go into that last stitch, 2 double crochets, go into the second stitch, and keep doing our double crochets. I'm going to stop again and do the same 5 stitches at the end over here, and I'm going to do double crochets all the way to the bottom, and I will coach you through going to do this step again. Okay, it is time for those 5 smaller stitches. So double crochet, yarn over, insert through the loop, draw up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through everything, and then pull tight. We're going to do that one again, into the next loop, yarn over, draw up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through tight. Those are half double crochets. Now we're doing singles. No yarning over, insert into the loop, and have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 2 slip stitches, which is similar to a single crochet. So insert into that next stitch, draw up the loops, just pull, yarn over and draw through the loops and pull them all through. Sorry, yarn over, pull through all the loops. And then chain 1, do that in reverse, slip stitches, 1 and 2, single crochet 1, pull tight on all of those, half double crochet, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through everything, pull tight, yarn over, 3 loops on our hook, pull through everything and pull tight, and then we're back to our single crochet, our double crochets, our normal double crochets. I'm going to show you one more time, chaining at the end, and then you're doing this pattern the entire time. You want to keep the 5 stitches down here different than down here, but you're doing double crochets the entire time with chaining 2 at the end to turn. I'm going to show you one more time how to do this side, but you're doing the same exact thing until you get to the end. I believe the guide that was playing at the video said that it needs to be 23 inches. I'm going to go back and look at that, but I will, once I finish showing you how to do this end, I'll meet you back when my project's 23 inches and show you how to put the hat together and sew in the ends, and it'll be all done. Okay, I went into the last stitch. I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and you can kind of see it easier now that the color has changed back to the solid white. But this is the first chain, this is the second chain. We're going to yarn over and go through that second chain, not the first one, because we already made our first stitch. This is our first stitch, but we need to chain to get the height of a double crochet. If not, your double crochet will look super flat and it will like have a weird curve in it. But you're going to do the same pattern throughout. It's starting to take, let me zoom out a little bit. It's starting to take shape. You don't want this to set flat, it really won't. So you can see that it's starting to look kind of like a hat. It looks maybe like a boat. But yeah, I will meet you back. If you need any help going through those steps again, just go back and watch that part of the video. But I will meet you back whenever it's time to sew this thing up. Good luck. Okay, this is what it looks like now that I finished the hat. It is a very weird shape. It's curling a lot. It's going to look great. I love the way this yarn made the colors and patterns look. I think it's beautiful. So we're going to tie these 2 ends together. That's our first step. So I'm making my loop a little bigger. So we're going to connect the 2 panels. This was our chain stitch, so it only has like 1 loop on the top, so I'm going to go through that in the very corner. I'm going to keep my stitches even, making sure I'm going through 1 at a time, just like that. I'm going to do slip stitches. So I have my hook through this side and this side, and then I'm just going to yarn over and pull through everything. On this side that is the pattern side, I'm only going to go through the back loop because I don't want it to be too bulky. Just going through everything. So just into that back loop like we have been this whole time. And I think it leaves a nice fresh line right there, which I want to try to create to kind of take away from the fact that I'm putting the sides together, so it'll kind of look a little better. Yeah, so you're just doing this all the way to the top. These stitches over here might be a little tight, so you just have to keep in mind like how you did your stitches, but you're doing that all the way to the beginning of your hat, and just make sure that you are going through a different loop at a time. Like, don't go back into this loop that we've already been into. Make sure you're just doing 1 loop at a time and looking down here and making sure that you're keeping it even. So finish that and then I'll meet you back. Okay, now I'm going to go into my last stitch here. So this very top loop, and bring it over to the side. And this loop right here, yarning over and pulling through everything. And now I'm finished and my hat is all sewn up, and that's what that seam looks like. I left that loop over there to also give it that, what is the word I'm looking for? The ribbed look that I did everywhere else. You can see that there's boning or ribbing in it. So I'm gonna pull my yarn all the way out of my hook. I don't have very long of a tail. I'm surprised and also not surprised that this hat took almost an entire skein of yarn. This is all the yarn I have left. So now I'm going to thread my needle. We need to close up this top. You can, okay, I worked my magic and got it threaded. So to close up this circle, I'm just gonna go through in and out pieces everywhere, trying not to leave too big of gaps. And then I'm just gonna pull tight, but I'm gonna go all the way around the circle. It's going to be hard, like I'm struggling with right now. I might have to get a pair of needle nose pliers, or just twisting it also helps. But yeah, I'm just going through and placing my needle so I can pull tightly and scrunch that top. So just in and out of random places, trying to keep on the top. You don't want to go way down here at the bottom, or that's going to leave like a little clumpy ball at the top and it's going to look weird. So just at the top, grabbing some yarn. Okay, and now my favorite part, I went all the way around, and now I'm just going to give it that scrunch. I just got to pull hard, and it closed that circle. You can do one of two things here. You can take your needle and sew in the middle, which I'm going to do because I'm always scared. What if this comes undone someday? Like, I want this to last and be as sturdy as possible. I grew up with brothers and they were constantly yanking my hat off my head, and I don't want there to be any chance that I have to come back and fix this later. So I'm just gonna sew up and down, making sure I'm pulling really tight still, just until I close that gap. And so I did two, so I closed the gap, and then I'm gonna go one this way, all the way across. I'm making sure to stay at the very top. I don't want to go too far down. Like I said, that'll create like some weird looking knot. Twisting this. I'm so glad I didn't have to get the pliers out today. This is very thick yarn. Okay, now the top looks great. I'm gonna be lazy and I'm just gonna tie this off into a knot up here. It's not gonna come undone. Um, I will, since I'm making this to sell, sew in the ends into the project and then trim them. Just like that, and then I'm going to trim it. Had to grab my handy dandy foldable scissors, and then I'm going to trim it, and I'll thread the other side of this needle, and I'll do the same over there. It'll take me a second to get this fluff ball through. Okay, I've sewn in that last piece and trimmed it, and you can't even tell. I think this turned out beautifully. I prefer to, when I finish my projects, to inside them out. So this is the side that I would have. You can see the ribbing, especially on the white parts. And then the top, the knot looks perfect. You cannot tell, like, it's not coming undone anytime soon. And then I always wear mine up, just pull them up just a little bit and fold it over. And that is what it'll look like. I love this hat. This is all the yarn I have left over, just this little bit from that whole ball of woolies. It is 5 ounces, so 87 yards was used for this hat almost, with this bit left over. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.